Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Path to 1 Million. This is episode 99. Tomorrow is a monumental day. I will be at episode 100. So if you got some time, please stop by and watch that episode. I will be making some announcements tomorrow. I'll be having a Q&A tomorrow. So if you would like, stop on by. There's be some other things that I'm going to chat about as well, like the future of this Facebook Live, the direction I'm going to go, things like that. So thanks for the likes, Matt. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you guys can hear me. That's awesome. Anyways, I wanted to talk to you about something that, thanks Charles for the like. I wanted to talk to you about something I saw yesterday. So the Brewfest was happening here in Long Beach yesterday. And the Brewfest is where a bunch of independent brew makers that are in the area get together and have a little celebration. No, I will not be having bagels, but I will offer coffee, and I might have a donut or two standing by. So make sure you swing by, check that out, Charles, but thanks. Appreciate it. Anyways, yesterday was Brewfest, and I remember like being in the downtown area yesterday, and it was absolutely crazy. But there was like this group of people that were standing next to me, and they were sloshed. I mean, absolutely sloshed. And of course, you know, when people get drunk, they are talking like really super loud. This is like maybe 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And these people were just, you know, they're having a good time, you know, and they're out there, they're screaming, hollering. The one lady said, we have to go back to my house and keep drinking. And I guess the Brewfest was over. I didn't know that drinking ended at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Usually that's when it starts. But this one lady was like, yes, we have to come back to my house and we have to drink some more and we have to get some more beer, have to get some more cervezas and all this other stuff. You know, they were just, you know, like absolutely partying. And it took me back to when I was in college, when I was studying all the time and working all the time, everything else. And it seemed like on Friday night that, you know, people were convincing me like, hey, you know what, you need to come out with us. You need to relax because, you know, you're working really hard. You need to come out. So I would go out, and there was this place that was called Berncastles there on Daytona Beach. And, you know, they had this thing where they had a card, and if you would go in there and order a beer from this card, they would stamp the card. And if you got all the stamps on the card, you'd get like a free t-shirt or something. So I was on the quest to get a free t-shirt. Of course, it would probably cost me $200 by the time I bought all that beer. Anyways, they would bring you these like 2 liters of beer, right? The things were just huge. And I would, you know, power through those things, and I would start to get tipsy, and I would start to get drunk. And of course, on Saturday, I would get up and, you know, I would be hurting. And I had all the studying to do in front of me. I had homework assignments to do. I had papers to write, whatever it was. And, you know, I was always like sleeping in, and I was drinking water because at that time I really didn't understand how to get over like a hangover. I just thought it was something you had to endure. Anyways, I'd always felt like I was behind the ball after going out and just drinking like so stinking much. And this happened like a lot throughout college until basically I think maybe it was like my junior year or my senior year. One day I just said to myself, I don't understand why I would put myself in a position to be further behind the next day. You know, I just couldn't. My priority was to graduate from college. I wanted to make sure that I had the highest GPA that I was. Basically, at some point, I just said to my friends, I've said, I'm just not interested in going out and getting sloppy drunk anymore. I don't mind going out having a cocktail or 2 or maybe even 3, but to the point where I'm getting drunk, where I have to wake up the next day and figure out how to doctor myself and how to power through that day, is just something that I'm not interested in. And this is something that's carried over into my professional life as well. I remember just being, you know, the odd guy out because usually on the weekends, with having my full-time job during the weeks, the weekends was where I would do most of my work as far as reading and studying and how to be a better investor and how to be a better business owner and stuff. And the last thing I wanted to do was to wake up on Saturday or Sunday with a monster screaming headache, because then for me, it just felt like I wasted the entire day. Granted, I could have a Bloody Mary. Granted, I could, you know, later on I found out, you know, Gatorade would help and things like that. But again, starting the day off behind the ball was not something that I really wanted to do. And so for me, as I move forward and, you know, getting on with life, it's one of those things where when I adjusted my schedule, because I wanted to start getting up early in the morning, now it's almost like a foreign concept for me to just stay out all night and drink, you know. And I appreciate there's people out there that do that, you know, not judging anything else. But this was just one of the things that I set off to the side that says, you know, this really isn't something that I want to do. I don't want to party all the time. I don't want to, get drunk to the point where I can't feel my face. I did that enough. Las Vegas has claimed enough of me with those free drinks that I care, just not to do that anymore. So with that being said, I just kind of set that off all to the side. And I just said to myself, that's just something that I'm not interested in. But of course, in life, you sacrifice one thing over here, it's a beginning of something over here. And for me, I just feel that just being able to get up in the morning and being able to have that time to myself, being able to read and focus on what it is that I want to do, what do I want to learn, the meanings that I can pull from my books, doing things like this Facebook Live. I mean, it's 5:30 on a Sunday morning, and this is exactly where I want to be. I'm absolutely loving it. And I want to keep doing this. I want to keep producing these episodes. So, in order to gain something, I have to sacrifice something, or to sacrifice something, I win something. However I choose to view it, really at the end of the day, this, the drinking until I'm absolutely blasted like these people were yesterday, it's just something that just hasn't appealed to me in a long time. And I'm not sitting here being preachy. People like to drink and have a good time and blast and get party and stuff like that. I get it. Especially with a lot of business owners. I've hung out with a lot of investors and business owners that repeatedly get drunk. And I was actually talking to a really good buddy of mine the other day, and he actually made a comment to me about how his diet has actually gone to hell because he's under so much stress. He's president of this company, and he is under so much stress that at the end of the day, he's not even hungry anymore. All he wants to do is drink. So all of a sudden now, something that was fun for him has now become a crutch. And I never want to put myself in a position where at the end of the day, I have to seek solace inside of a bottle. I never do. And I understand how easy that can become for, some people to do. I just don't seem to have an addictive personality when it comes to that stuff. So I consider myself very lucky, because in Southern California, a lot of people that I meet here are former addicts. It's just the nature of the beast. So, anyways, I think everybody handles stress differently in their own ways and stuff. But I just, I feel sorry for my friend for having to resort to the bottle in order to relieve some of his stress. He keeps banging away though. Every single day he keeps going in there. But every single morning he tells me that, he is hurting because he's having 3, 4, 5 glasses every single night before he goes to bed. And he wakes up the next day and he's kind of paying a little bit of a price for it. So, anyways, like I said before, this is just something that I just decided to sacrifice a long time ago, and something that I continue with today. And I do not regret that decision at all. I'm absolutely loving my life. I love my philosophy on life, and I would not give it up for anything. So just wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you all for stopping by today. I really do appreciate it. Just a reminder, tomorrow is episode 100. So stop by. I'm actually feeling bad now, Charles, so I might go out and bring some bagels so you guys can celebrate with me. But please do stop by tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll have another episode. Anyways, I hope you guys have a phenomenal Sunday. I hope you guys can get out there and enjoy the day with your family, loved ones. And I will talk to you again tomorrow at episode 100. Holy smokes, I can't believe I made it this far. Anyways, Matt, thanks once again for the like. Super duper appreciate it, and I will see you guys tomorrow.